Hello everyone, this is Nicoraptor here, and we'll be continuing the Dinovember challenge. This is now the 4th week, and if you haven't watched the previous videos, go ahead and watch those now. And as usual, I'm following the list by Puko on Instagram. Now, let's get into more dino facts and speed drawing. Enjoy the video. The first dinosaur on our list is the Oviraptor. Oviraptor is a genus of oviraptorid dinosaur that lived in Mongolia during the late Cretaceous period about 71 million years ago. The name translates to egg thief because when fossils of Oviraptor were found in 1923, it was shown covering a clutch of eggs with its body, and back then paleontologists believed that the eggs belonged to another dinosaur like Protoceratops and that the Oviraptor was stealing it. Guess it died during a crime scene, huh? But no, studies shows that the eggs were not from another dinosaur, but instead were Oviraptor eggs. It turns out it was not stealing eggs. It was actually a mother who died protecting her babies. So this supposed thief was actually a good mother. Therefore, this dinosaur gets a pretty bad reputation, as even to this day in many dinosaur medias, they often show oviraptors stealing eggs and eating them, but who knows, it could have done that as it was an omnivore. Oviraptor was a small dinosaur measuring up to 6 feet long and weighing at about 40 kilograms. It was a feathered dinosaur with a toothless jaw and having only a strong beak with a large crest. It would have used its feathers to keep itself warm during the desert night and to attract females. For my Oviraptor, I decided to base its color on the Dinosaur Planets documentary because I love how they portray Oviraptors there with its white feathering and its loud goose-like honks, which is quite intimidating. This, as well as the other feathered dinosaurs I have drawn so far, often take the longest time because of the texturing in the feathers, which is a pain, but it does come up pretty well, and the effort was worth it. So, here is my Oviraptor. The next dinosaur is the Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus was a carnivorous theropod that lived in Colorado during the late Jurassic period at around 148 million years ago. Ceratosaurus translates to horned lizard due to a ridge-like horn at the end of its snout. No one knows exactly what its horn was used for. It could not have been used for attack or defense as it was too short, so it could have been used for display to attract females. Ceratosaurus was a medium-sized theropod dinosaur measuring up to 17 or 18 feet long and can weigh up to 2 tons or 980 kilograms. They also have very short but functional forelimbs, and even has 2 more ridge-like horns on their eyebrows. Ceratosaurus preyed upon any herbivores they can find, but it was not easy as it was not the only predator living in the same area. It had competition from other larger carnivores like Torvosaurus or Allosaurus, and these two were the apex predators of the Jurassic. So Ceratosaurus often have to face down these guys as they would fight over food. Now for my Ceratosaurus, as you can see from my color scheme, I based it on the Jurassic Park's tree Ceratosaurus as I thought the red and the beige coloring with black stripe looks great. But of course I made this body scientifically accurate to the real animal. And the real life Ceratosaurus had a nimble-like body similar to the Carnotaurus, as it would help give this predator great speed to chase down fast-moving prey. I got nothing else to say about it, so here is my Ceratosaurus. The next dinosaur is another recognizable one from Jurassic Park, the Gallimimus. Gallimimus is a genus of theropod dinosaur that lived in what is now Mongolia during the late Cretaceous period, at around 70 million years ago. The name translates to chicken mimic as they found similarities in its neck vertebrae and those of modern-day chickens. Gallimimus represented the most complete and best preserved ornithomimid or ostrich dinosaur ever discovered, and this dinosaur remains one of the best known members of the group. It is also the largest known ornithomimid. Adults can measure up to 20 feet long and can stand up to be over 6 feet tall and can weigh in at about 400 to 490 kilograms. As evidenced by its relative, the Ornithomimus, it would have had feathers. The head was small and light with large eyes that faced to the sides. The snout was long compared to other Ornithomimus and it was toothless. So for my Ornithomimus, I went with scientific accuracies which had feathers, and not the featherless versions like the ones in Jurassic Park. And since it's got its name from a chicken, I decided to give it coloring similar to that of modern-day chickens, orange-brown with dark green display feathers, and it looks really nice. I wonder if it tasted like chicken. Who's up for some Kentucky Fried Gallimimus? Maybe I should get some food later. Writing and drawing can get a raptor pretty hungry. But anyways, here is my Gallimimus. The next one is another famous dinosaur, the Archaeopteryx. Archaeopteryx is a genus of avian dinosaurs, dinosaurs that evolved into birds, that lived in what is now southern Germany during the late Jurassic period at around 150 million years ago. The name translates to ancient wing, as when they found a complete fossil of Archaeopteryx, they saw imprints of feathers, and unlike the previous feather dinosaurs, this one though has flying feathers like today's birds. Many believe that this creature's wing only allows them to glide from tree to tree, but after further discovery, it is shown that it had powerful muscles in its chest that allowed it to have powered flight. This of course became one of the most important discoveries ever found in paleontology, as they not only found a feathered flying dinosaur, but one that shows proof that dinosaurs are indeed related to modern-day birds, and that Archaeopteryx is the missing link between large theropod like T-Rex and modern-day bird. The size of Archaeopteryx is similar to a modern-day raven, only measuring up to 1.8 feet long, and further studies in the pigments of the feather imprints shows a dark pigmentation, so Archaeopteryx would have coloring similar to that of crows or ravens. With all of that, I gave my Archaeopteryx similar coloring, but I decided to go for a magpie, black with some white in it. It came out pretty well, and the wings was the most tedious part to draw, but I'm proud of it. So here is my dino bird, the Archaeopteryx. The next one is one that is no longer considered a valid species, the Troodon. I'll explain more of it later. The Troodon was a small bird-like dinosaur that lived in Montana during the late Cretaceous period, about 77 million years ago. The name translates to wounding tooth, due to its teeth having sharp serrations. However, its teeth may look like that of a voracious carnivore. The serration in its teeth is actually very similar to that of herbivores, so the Troodon is actually an omnivore. The Troodon measures up to 8 feet long and can weigh up to 35 kilograms, and of course it was covered in feathers. The feathers was there to help keep itself warm during winter times, as the area it lived in had seasonal weathers. Now, the reason why Troodon is no longer a valid species is because Troodon was what's called a wastebasket taxon. It was only defined by a single tooth, and there had been too many creatures with similar teeth. Therefore, a whole group was made called the Troodontid, and thus the name Troodon is no longer valid, and the creature was then given another name, Stenonychosaurus. But people still call it Troodon cause the name kinda sticks. And fun fact, Troodon had the biggest brain of any dinosaur in terms of body to brain ratio. and also had large eyes which helped it see in the dark, making it a nocturnal hunter. And another fun fact, in 1982, Dale A. Russell, the curator of vertebrate fossils at the National Museum of Canada, theorized of what would happen if Troodon or Stenonychosaurus didn't go extinct and survive. He believed that the dinosaur would evolve into a humanoid dinosaur creature who is intelligent, and it looks like. Okay, I think I have new nightmare fuels. Thanks a lot, dude. Yeesh, that was an abomination. But anyway, here is my Troodon or Stenonychosaurus. The next dinosaur is another recognizable one, the Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus is a genus of hadrosaurid or duck-billed dinosaur that lived in what is now northwestern America and even Asia during the late Cretaceous period about 76 million years ago. The name translates to near-crested lizard due to its signature crest. It was a large herbivore that could reach over 30 feet long and weigh over 5 metric tons, and was able to move as a biped and a quadruped. There are three species of Parasaurolophus based on the different crests they had, Tubicon being the largest and having the most complex air passages in its crest, Ceratosaurus being the smallest with a short rounded crest, and Walkeri having the characteristic long unrounded crest and longer upper arms. And in this drawing I went with the Walkeri as it is the most recognizable out of the three. The crest of Parasaurolophus is not only used for display to attract mates, but also used to make loud trumpeting calls to communicate with the herd. The air travels through the crest as they breathe in, and when they bellow out, the crest helps make the loud noises. Think of it as like having a trumpet for a throat. The Parasaurolophus is of course another famous dinosaur due to its many appearances in movies like Jurassic Park, and in one book it was shown being able to breathe fire. I don't know what they were thinking when making that book. But anyways, for my Parasaurolophus, I gave it a simple coloring of brown and white with black, and I gave its crest a bright color blue, as it was possible that they had brightly colored crests to attract mates. So, here is my Parasaurolophus. The final dinosaur for this week is another famous one, the Allosaurus. Allosaurus was a large carnivorous theropod that lived in Wyoming in North America during the late Jurassic period about 145 million years ago. The name translates to different lizard due to its skull having two protruding crests near its eyebrow. These crests were used for display. Allosaurus was a large bipedal predator measuring up to 28 feet long and can weigh up to over 3,000 pounds. These carnivores were the apex predator of the Jurassic. In fact, they were even called the lions of the Jurassic, and they were known to hunt down many large dinosaurs ranging from Stegosaurus to Diplodocus. Allosaurus is quite famous due to its appearance in the BBC documentary Walking with Dinosaurs, and they had a special episode dedicated to Allosaurus, where it featured a young Allosaurus nicknamed Big Al. Big Al was one of the most famous fossils ever found, not just because it was a full skeleton of Allosaurus, but also its skeleton showed injuries that Big Al endured during his life, including a broken middle toe that was infected badly, which could have been the cause of Big Al's death. Even to this day, if you were to go to the National Museum in Wyoming, you can still see Big Al's fossil. Because of Big Al, Allosaurus has become quite popular, almost as popular as T-Rex. So for my Allosaurus, I of course based its body structure on scientific accuracy, and I based its color on the Walking with Dinosaurs version as a tribute not only to the documentary, but also to Big Al himself. So, here is the last dinosaur for this week, the Allosaurus. And that is all for week 4 of Dinovember. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like to see more dinosaur drawings, go ahead and watch the previous videos. Also, follow me on my Instagram to see all of my artwork and support me there. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more content. It's free, but it helps this channel grow. My name is Oviraptor. Thank you for watching this video, and have a Jurassic day.